welcome back to our series of films from field to food. Following up from the successful film we made last year of the butchery of the roe deer, we're following up with a fallow that was taken a week ago down in the Cotswolds. With the fallow being the winter season, we're going to concentrate on the winter type of cuts. We're getting very close to Christmas. We're going to need some roasting joints and some casseroles and hopefully a nice rack to roast for a quick supper. We've got the haunches at the back, obviously, the loin in the middle, and I'm hoping for a nice rack from the front end of the loin. The shoulder will make some good casserole, as this animal's been shot nicely rib to rib, so we shouldn't get too much damage on the carcass. And also Christmas gives us a good chance for sausage casseroles, so there'll be some nice trim to be used for manufacturing tomorrow. I'm going to tackle this as I would for breaking up meat for my own shops. I'm going to start with taking the neck off and the shoulders, take the loins off, leaving the long haunch, and then remove the breasts. Just cutting behind the shoulder blade here, feeling for the ridge in the shoulder blade, 2 or 3 inches back. I like to cut through the loin with a knife and then saw through the bone. And there we have the shoulders ready for casserole and sausage, or lean venison mince, or burgers. So working from the back towards the front, there's a bone in the leg which I'm feeling for with my thumb. So I'm going to mark him just in front of the bone, where the loin starts, and again saw through the backbone. Take the ticket off, which has got the Hunter's Declaration on from Cervus-UK. Loins come off. And that gives me the haunches for joints and steaks. Right, first job we're going to do is I'm going to tackle the loin. For the simple reason I'm going to prepare a rack, and we're going to go and pop that in the oven now. So that's cooking while we prepare the rest of the animal. First job is to remove the breast. Here we've got a bit of localised bruising from where the animal was shot. So we'll go through and have a look what we've got. This can be trimmed out anyway. They're always very brittle boned. Quite awkward to deal with. Very fiddly. There we go, we'll come back to those later because they'll do for the I'll be doing for the sausage. Just trimming out a little bit of blood inside. We've got the fillets in here, very, very tiny. Very, very nice, but very fiddly. I'm going to take these out. This was only a young animal, and when I dressed it yesterday in the slaughterhouse, I noticed on the back foot one of the joints was dislocated, and one of the guys that was out stalking said that he did notice it limping, so I think that was a bit of good work in taking this animal out. And I'm going to saw down the centre of the loins. preparing this as I would a loin of lamb. Just using the front end of the loin for a rack. The last bit I shall use for a little bit of fillet. So let's have a look. I'm going to trim the top off and just expose the bones. That's having the same effect as removing that bit of bruising as well. Try and take that bottom bone off now so we can carve it a bit easier when it's cooked. There we go. Just remove the bottom bone. Look for that gristle that runs all along the back, which we don't want. That is a little rack that we're now going to go and put in the oven. So here we've just got a few little bits of mixed winter veg that we bagged from the local shop, because one of the benefits of tonight's little exercise is we're actually cooking our own tea as we work. So we're going to pop those in the oven and pop the rack of lamb on top, switch the oven on while we continue with the carcass. Going to carry on with the rest of the carcass. This is the back end of the loin, very very similar to lamb. We could even do chops with this, but I'm really enjoying at the moment the fillets out of these, which I'm doing at home in the frying pan with really simple, with shallots and bits of smoked bacon, maybe a bit of pepper sauce or a bit of red currant jelly, but nothing that. Personally, I'm not a fan of really strong sauces on venison. I think it masks the flavour at this time of year. The meat that's coming through is tremendous quality and good eating. So I'm going to take the fillet out, take all the skin away and the fat on the outside, and that's going to go in the bowl over there for sausage making tomorrow. And this little silver skin we want to get off. It's a little bit fiddly with me having taken half of it away. But there, we've just got a solid little piece. That will pan fry in minutes. It'll be superb. Same again with this piece, but it's a bit longer. A little bit of bruising there from the shot, but only in the breast part, so we're not losing much meat on that one. Just round those fiddly bones on the back. I like to turn him over and go down. This is one of the fatal ways of cutting yourself. Bristle off the back, which we don't want. And we should be able to pull that away. There we go, that's the exact. Take this silver skin off. It's very very thin, but when it's cooking it can go a bit hard, and it's such a shame to spoil such a super piece. It's less than 1 millimetre thick. It runs the entire length of the animal's body from the tail to the back of the head. There we go. Scrape those bits off. so we don't waste anything. And there we have it, that in again, a super fillet, fully trimmed, as good as fillet steak of beef there. Next up I'm going to tackle the shoulders. Some butchers split the shoulders through the middle and then take the bone out, but I'm going to be kind of lazy and I'm going to take the meat from either side of the carcass. I find it works for myself because you've got the weight of the shoulders pulling the meat away. Going down as close to the ribs as I can. This side, we're running into a bit of damage there, which we'll have to be careful of. I've got the weight of the opposite side working in my favour now. Down to the backbone on both sides, and I'm turning round, look for that gristle. Now this is the same gristle that we removed earlier from the loin, so you can see it's much thicker. And this runs up the animal's neck and attaches to the back of the head. Helps to carry the weight of the animal's head. That's the first shoulder off. Second one close behind. We'll come back to all the bones and all the trimming up later. Concentrate on the good stuff. There we go. Now away again with the shoulders. I'm going to start with in my opinion, the second best piece of meat on the animal, which is the fillet out of the neck. It's the same muscle structure that we used earlier that we removed from the loins. Perfect for casseroles and braising, those are. That will be delicious. The remainder of the shoulder I will use for straightforward dicing this time, as it's that time of year. Starting at the shin end and working away. Blade. I'm using the weight of the bone falling away in my favour a little. Here we go. And hopefully the blade bone will pull out. That's nice and clean, not much waste on there. Just going to check this rack. Certainly looks good. Quick look with the meat thermometer. 60 degrees, 61 degrees. That will be quite rare in the middle. If you want rare beef, we tend to go to about 58. That's showing 63 degrees. I'm just going to go quickly in with the asbestos fingers. See how that looks when we carve him off. Between the ribs, as you would a rack of lamb. And that is looking rather good. Still plenty of moisture in the meat. The beauty of cooking meat like this cut of meat is that if you've got people who like rare meat or people who like well done meat, you can start one off 10 minutes before the other and get the best of both worlds. Wild venison taken in the field, straight through the process, and now it's as good a food as I think money can buy. due to the benefits of the way we've managed to edit the film and the way time's flown by, we've had a quick break and we've just enjoyed the most stunning rack of venison and a few roasted vegetables. It really was tender, full of flavour. We didn't use any seasoning, no salt, no pepper, but the flavour was absolutely out of this world. We're now going to tackle the haunches. I've split through the H-bone. I'm now going to split through a natural joint where the tail attaches to the spine. And separate the two. There we go. There's a natural seam. If you're just in the right place, it cuts easily. If you're just out, it doesn't. Either side of the tail. Saves using the saw. A little bit of meat to trim out of there. And here we go. 2 more bits for the sausage. Split the 2 in half. I'm going to use one for a large haunch joint. There's a customer ordered one of these for the weekend, so this one will be ideal for that. I'm going to remove the shin bone and a small amount of shin, remove the H bone and tie it up with string. I'm looking for the natural joint where the shin bone attaches to the femur. There it is. Through that joint. That's that one. Now I'm going to remove the H bone. Looking for the joint where the H bone attaches to the femur. The full haunch, I'm going to remove a little bit of the shin part to go in the sausage and put 2 or 3 strings round, and that will be vacuum packed, ready for our customer this weekend. And last but not least, the final leg, or the last haunch. I'm going to do a few steaks off this. Lift the bone away, and the weight of the meat falling from beneath the bone helps me to see where I'm going. I'm going to take off the shin through that joint. Now we've got the main part of the leg. There's a natural seam here which I'm going to follow, and I'll come to the femur bone. The piece in my left hand is the top side of the leg, which gives an easy natural seam down to the table. This makes fantastic little steaks. The rest of the leg, I've got the steak as well. Take the bone away. A little bit untidy there. This piece I'm going to use for steaks, and they will go in the counter after in the morning. You could use string here and make a mini joint, mini haunch. The same with this piece. That would make a super little joint for 2 people. Just squared off. In this case, we're going to make some steaks. There's a little seam on the top, which is best avoided. There, 4 wonderful little steaks, and if they're anything like the rack that we've just enjoyed, they will be wonderful. So we're all done. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed it. And just to recap, we've got a bowl here we're going to use for sausage tomorrow. I'll probably add a little bit of pork into that to create a bit more volume and carry a bit of fat for a bit of succulence. Pork and venison sausage sells really, really well. Here we've got a nice pile of lovely lean dice, the plate in the middle, fillets, shoulder fillets for braising, leg steaks, haunch steaks, a small piece of haunch which we shall steak tomorrow as and when the customers require, and a large haunch waiting for somebody for the weekend for their Christmas roast. Thanks for watching, guys.